You really have a good number. There you go.
You have more training, but I've also practiced since I've stopped training myself.
That's all right.
All the time, so.
That's on borrow for him.
Just tell me what it is. I won't do it. I won't do it now, please.
Pretty decent. Dude, I would fucking toss that in an antelope's ass.
Doesn't a knife make you a violent person?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I could use this to just prop the bottom of your arm up and make you dance all the way around that point of
But in that case, it doesn't need to be sharp.
Doesn't need to be sharp. But I gave him this because it's a beautiful knife. Well, I didn't give it to him.
So it's an aesthetic and not a...
Yes, absolutely. I let him borrow this because he wants to train with something and he's all about moving his arms, and he's a great dancer with capoeira. So I let him borrow this knife, and that knife he will borrow, and he will become very good at it. Simple with that knife. I want you to be able to run down this parking lot and be able to tuck yourself and roll without stuffing your arms with rock. With that knife. Preferably in the crease of your neck,
Are you venturing
in the crease of your arm, in your hand if you want, in your teeth if you think you're pretty fucking cool. And if not, I just want you to be homely. But you know, that is knife training. This shit, that's if you want to go march on St. Patrick's Day and do this shit for people, that's not going to save your life.
That's show.
That's show, that's right, that's show.
This is all show.
That's not what that knife is for, and I don't want you to do that anymore with that knife.
Yeah, I get up, I work.
And I think you're awesome at it.
I got a mow on weed and I fucking now.
Whatever you want to do.
Go on my grandma's yard.
You learn how to use that knife. And when you scissor kick me to the ground, you can put the knife.
A slice. I'll go back home and go to sleep. And as I turn, this is where this finger does come in. So as I turn, the jab to the side.
Don't do that ever again. A knife to a martial artist is never a knife in sharp sense, or your hands in general can kill someone anyway. But in today's society, right? But in a sense, on today's society, when we see a knife, we think knife, stab, wound, cut. I pick up this bark, and I look like a fucking nuts crazy guy on fucking Prozac in a gumball machine, saving quarters, saying, you know, fuck you, okay? But this is in a sense just as lethal as that knife, because in martial arts you never use any weapon whatsoever. A knife, it's just an extension of your arm. In other words, most of the time what I would use this knife for, just because it has a nice dull edge, is to never cut, maim, stab, or anything. I would actually use this to bleed the oxygen from a body. I would use it as a kidney shot. I would follow that back and I would point it towards the body in case it was like my life versus death. Doesn't let them, that's a fatal wound right there. You plunge that into somebody, that's a fatal wound. So you let them know. You know, if you're in a battle situation, that's the way you go with that. It's an intimidation as well as, but most of all, and just an extension of your arm. Because like I said, this knife is just like picking up this piece of bark and saying,
right,
I want all your money.
But you want the intimidation of a...
Because society puts a name on this and they say, society says, this is a knife, and this knife, knives in general cause wounds and scars and cuts and wounds and blood. But society never put a term on bark. They never said, well, bark can cut and wound and maim.
Yeah, you can kill somebody with a pencil and they'll lose an airplane.
Sure, and that's why this is nothing.
All I know is if I'd rather take somebody coming at me with fucking this and that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I can prove you wrong.
No, I probably could, but I still would take my chances with the old bark blade over there.
But seriously, besides the knife, quit doing this shit and actually learn how to tumble anywhere in the grass, the parking lot preferably. I want to see you hit hard surfaces and roll on your side rather than not on your back.
You never roll on your head. You roll on your head, you're going to break your neck.
Well, I understand that, but just listen. I want to see you do some fun shit Because as soon as you do that, we're going to go to the next level. We're going to go to my dojo. We're going to put on the pads. And we're going to experience like soft contact martial arts. And I want to see that dance. I want to see the dance you got.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean, man? But I think you have everything within you. You're young. You have the whole world in front of you, and you have like, we're talking like 9, 10 years just to study alone. You could be way better than I am. You could do anything you want, and with that dance that you do, the capoeira, that's deadly fucking shit, and you know it. Any one of these guys, if they were not your friends and they confronted you in this parking lot, sir. That's fucked up. You're filming me, but you're gonna call me sir.